Tonight will feel like a movie because you'll see with your soul. Listen. Can you feel it right now? That heaviness in your chest. That question you've been carrying alone in the dark. God, why does this keep happening to me? That pain you can't explain to anyone because they wouldn't understand. That exhaustion that goes deeper than your bones, like you've been fighting battles no one else can see. What if I told you, tonight changes everything? What if the sleeplessness, the restlessness, the feeling like you're trapped in your own body, what if all of that has been preparing you for this very moment? Here's the shocking truth they don't tell you in church. Your spirit is stronger than your body. And tonight, yes, tonight God is going to show you something so sacred, so real, that when you wake up tomorrow morning, you won't be the same person. You're going to experience something beyond sleep, beyond dreams, something biblical. Before we go any further, and I need you to do this right now, tap that like button and hit subscribe if you want peace tonight. Real peace, the kind that finally lets you breathe. And type 99 inches the comments to say, Lord, open my spiritual eyes. That number isn't random. It's your agreement, your yes to heaven. Now, I want you to know something. This will be safe. This will be biblical. And this will be peaceful. You're not stepping into fear. You're stepping into freedom. And thank you to every single one of you who has supported this message through super thanks. Your generosity means more than you know. You're not just giving, you're helping spread light to others who feel alone in their calling. Whether you give or not, I'm deeply grateful for your presence here, your support, your time, your attention. It all matters. And if this message resonates with your soul, go ahead. But here's what I need you to understand. In just a few minutes, I'm going to give you the exact 3 signs to know it's God moving and not fear. Because the enemy wants you to doubt this. He wants you to dismiss what's about to happen tonight as just a dream. But you'll know better. Tonight, you're going to leave your body, not in death but in awakening. And when your spirit rises, you'll finally see what God has been trying to show you all along. Your pain had a purpose. Your struggle had a meaning. And tonight, it all makes sense. Stay with me. Don't look away. Because what happens next will change your life forever. Let's begin. Do you know what it feels like to lie awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering if God has forgotten your name? Have you ever felt like everyone around you is moving forward while you're standing still, watching life pass you by like a train you missed? What if I told you that every sleepless night, every moment of grief you couldn't speak out loud, every time you felt invisible, what if all of it was God positioning you for tonight? Because if you're here right now, it's not random. God timed this. Down to the second, down to the breath you just took. I know you. I see you. You're the one who wakes up tired even after sleeping. You carry worry like a second skin. You've lost people, too many people, and some days the silence in your home is so loud it screams. You feel left behind. Like the world moved on and forgot to tell you where everyone went. And here's what breaks my heart. You've been praying. You've been faithful. But heaven feels quiet. Let me tell you something the enemy doesn't want you to know. That quietness, that's not abandonment. That's preparation. Isaiah 61:1-3 says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the broken-hearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners, to comfort all who mourn and provide for those who grieve, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, beauty for ashes." That's what tonight is about. God is taking every sleepless night, every unanswered question, every moment you felt forgotten, and He's about to turn it into something so beautiful, so sacred, you won't have words for it. Psalm 91:11 promises, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways," not some of your ways, all of them, even the ones that felt like dead ends. Right now, I want you to do something. If that's you, if you feel like I'm speaking directly into your soul, type in the comments, "I'm listening, Lord." Because later tonight, I'm going to pray over every single name. Your name matters, your pain matters, and God sees you. You're not here by accident. You're here because something in your spirit said, "Pay attention." That's stirring. That's divine appointment, knocking. And here's what I need you to understand. What you're about to experience tonight isn't just a message. It's a doorway. In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you how holy stillness, the kind that feels like surrender, becomes the gateway to the most powerful encounter of your life. But first, you need to know this. Your body is not your limit. Your age is not your ceiling. And tonight, when the world goes quiet and your soul begins to rise, you're going to see what God has been preparing all along. So take a breath. Settle in. Because what comes next isn't theory. It's the moment your spirit remembers why you were born. Let me be crystal clear with you right now. We're not chasing thrills here. We're not playing games with the spirit realm. We're not opening doors we shouldn't touch. What we're doing tonight is yielding to holy stillness so your spirit can finally hear God without the noise of flesh screaming over it. You know what the problem is? You've been so busy being a body that you forgot you are a soul. You've been so trapped inside pain, inside worry, inside that prison of anxiety and fatigue that you can't remember the last time you felt light, free, awake. And here's what nobody's telling you. Your body has been lying to you. It tells you you're too old, too tired, too broken, too late. But Job 33:4 says, "The Spirit of God has made me. The breath of the Almighty gives me life." Not gave, gives, present tense. Right now, tonight. That breath, it's still moving in you. And when your body finally quiets down, when the pain stops shouting, when the fear stops controlling you, that's when your spirit rises. That's when you remember who you really are. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest. When was the last time you felt peace? Real peace. Not distraction, not numbness, not "I'm fine" when you're falling apart inside. I'm talking about the kind of peace that makes you exhale for the first time in years. 1 Kings 19:12 tells us God wasn't in the earthquake. He wasn't in the fire. He was in the whisper. But you can't hear a whisper when your body is screaming. You can't hear God when your thoughts are at war. So tonight, He's going to quiet everything. Everything. So you can finally hear Him. Now listen, this is safe. This is biblical. This is not some New Age trick or occult nonsense. Jesus Himself said in John 14:27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." That's a command, not a suggestion. Peace over panic. Think of it like this. When you go into surgery, they put you under anesthesia, not to harm you, to heal you. God is doing the same thing tonight. He's quieting your body so He can work on your soul. You're not losing yourself. You're finding yourself. And when you wake up, you'll be renewed, restored, remade. But here's what I need you to understand. This doesn't happen by force. It happens by surrender. You can't control this. You can't manufacture it. You can only receive it. And that terrifies some of you, doesn't it? Because you've spent your whole life trying to stay in control, trying to hold it together, trying to keep your body from breaking down, your mind from giving up, your heart from shattering one more time. But tonight, God is asking you to let go. Just let go. If you value that peace, if you're ready to trade panic for presence, write peace over panic in the comments right now. Let that be your declaration, your agreement with heaven, because in just a moment I'm going to name 3 emotions that often rise right before the lift. 3 feelings that will try to pull you back into fear. And when you recognize them, you'll know it's not the enemy, it's the doorway. Are you ready? Because what I'm about to tell you next will explain why your body has been fighting you all this time, and why tonight that fight finally ends. You know what the world told you? They said your best years are behind you. They said once you hit 60, 70, 80, you're supposed to sit down, stay quiet, and wait. Wait for what? For the end? For irrelevance? For your story to just fade out? But here's the truth nobody talks about in polite company. God doesn't operate on the world's retirement plan. Let me ask you something that might shake you awake right now. What if everything you've been through, every delay, every closed door, every time someone passed you over because you were too old, what if all of that was never rejection? What if it was preparation? Because, here's what I know. Heaven has a specialty. And that specialty is late bloomers. Moses, 80 years old when God showed up at a burning bush and said, "Now you're ready." Not at 20, not at 40, at 80. Exodus 7:7 doesn't apologize for that number. It celebrates it. Moses was 80 when he walked into Pharaoh's palace and said, "Let my people go." His wrinkles carried authority his youth never could. Anna, 84 years old, a widow, alone in the temple for decades, fasting, praying, waiting. And then one morning, one ordinary morning, she saw the baby Jesus. Luke 2 says she spoke about him to everyone, not someday, that day. At 84, her voice still mattered, her testimony still moved heaven. And Caleb, 85 years old, stood up and said, "Give me this mountain, not this rocking chair, this mountain." Joshua 14:10-12. The man was ready to fight giants when everyone else wanted to retire. You see the pattern? Your age isn't your expiration date. It's your qualification. Every wrinkle on your face is a runway light. Every scar is a landing strip. Your life has been marking the path for the Spirit to land tonight. All those years of pain, of wondering if God forgot you, of feeling invisible, those weren't wasted. They were preparation. They were the refining fire. They were God saying, "Not yet, not yet, but soon." And tonight is soon. If you're 60 and still expecting God to move, type "I'm not done," because you're not. If you're 70 and still feel that fire inside, type "I'm not done." If you're 80, 90, and your spirit is still crying out for more, type it "I'm not done." Your quiet wisdom? That's not background noise. That's the frequency heaven has been tuning into. While the world chased noise, you learned stillness. While they chased applause, you learned patience. And patience, beloved, is the soil where miracles grow. Let me tell you about a widow named Eleanor, 73 years old, lost her husband 5 years ago, hasn't slept well since, kept waking at 3 a.m. with this restless ache she couldn't name. One night, one random Tuesday night, she prayed, "God, I don't know what you want, but I'm listening." That night, she woke up, but not in her bed. She felt herself rising, weightless, peaceful, free, and in that moment she heard his voice, clear as day. "Tell them I'm not done with you. Tell them I never waste a season." When she woke up in her body again, tears streaming down her face, she knew. She finally knew. Her waiting had purpose, her pain had meaning, and her story wasn't over. That's what's coming for you tonight. So let me ask you one more time, are you ready to see what God sees? Are you ready to feel what heaven feels when it looks at you? Because I promise you this, what's about to happen isn't going to feel like sleep. It's going to feel like coming home. And when you do, everything changes. You know what nobody tells you? Right before God moves, your body knows first. Not your mind, not your theology, your body. There's a warmth that starts spreading across your chest, slow, like sunlight bleeding through a frosted window on a February morning. It doesn't burn, it doesn't rush, it just settles, like someone laid their hand right over your heart and whispered, "I've got you now." And you might think, is this real, or am I just tired? That's the question, isn't it? The one that's kept you up at night for months, maybe years. God, are you really there, or am I losing my mind? Here's what I need you to understand. That warmth isn't random. It's not anxiety. It's not your imagination running wild at 2 a.m. It's the first sign, the first whisper, the threshold. Because right after that warmth, something else happens. Your shoulders, you feel them drop, like someone just lifted a 100-pound sack of stones off your back. The weight you didn't even realize you were carrying, the shame, the regret, the endless replaying of every mistake, it starts to dissolve. And for the first time in God knows how long, you can breathe all the way down. John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives." That peace, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't wait for your problems to be solved. It just arrives, like grace always does, uninvited, unearned, undeniable. But here's the third sign, and this one will shake you. The room gets quiet, not silent quiet. There's a hum, soft, steady, like the low buzz of the refrigerator at night, but it's not coming from the walls. It's coming from inside your soul. It's the sound of eternity touching time, the sound of heaven bending low to meet you right where you are. And that's when you realize this isn't death, this is deeper life. Psalm 23 says, "He leads me beside still waters, he restores my soul." Still waters, not crashing waves, not chaos, just stillness. The kind that wraps around you like a blanket you forgot you owned. The kind that says, you don't have to fight anymore, not tonight. And you, dear one, chosen one, you are like a feather on a tide. You're not forcing this. You're not conjuring it up. You're floating because another is carrying you. And he's been carrying you all along. You just couldn't feel it until now. So, if you want that feather-light peace tonight, if you're tired of carrying everything alone type, carried in the comments right now, let that be your yes, your surrender, your invitation. Because here's what's coming next. I'm about to give you the 3 confirmations, the unmistakable signs that this is God, not fear, not your mind playing tricks. And when you recognize them, everything changes. But first, I need you to breathe, just once, deep and slow. Feel that warmth in your chest, that lightness in your shoulders, that quiet hum beneath it all. That's not you losing control. That's you finally letting go. And tonight, when your spirit lifts and your body stays behind, when you see what you were never meant to see with human eyes, you'll know beyond any shadow of doubt. You were chosen for this moment. You were prepared for this night. And you are not alone. Not now. Not ever. So stay with me, because the threshold is right in front of you, and on the other side, everything you've been praying for is waiting. Now listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will separate truth from deception. And in a moment like tonight, when your spirit is about to leave your body, you need to know with absolute certainty that this is God and not the enemy. You've been lied to your whole life, told that spiritual experiences are dangerous, that if you can't touch it, it's not real, that if the pastor didn't approve it, it's demonic. But here's what they never told you. God speaks in ways that shatter religion, and tonight he's speaking directly to your soul. So how do you know it's him? Here are the 3 confirmations. Memorize them. Write them on your heart. Because when you're floating above your bed tonight, when you see your own body lying there, when panic tries to grip you, these 3 truths will anchor you in peace. First, peace grows, not panic. Philippians 4:7 says, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Did you catch that? Peace that transcends understanding. That means you won't be able to explain it. You won't be able to logic your way through it. But you'll feel it. Deep, unmistakable, holy. If what you're experiencing tonight brings terror, confusion, or a dark heaviness, that's not God. But if, in the middle of something impossible, you feel a warmth, a safety, a voice whispering, "I've got you," that's Him. God doesn't operate in fear. He operates in perfect love. And perfect love casts out fear. So when you rise tonight, ask yourself, am I afraid? Or am I at peace? Second, Scripture aligns with what you sense. Psalm 119:105 declares, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path." God will never contradict His word, ever. If what you see, hear, or feel tonight goes against Scripture, reject it. But if it aligns, if it echoes the same truths you've read in your Bible for years, then you know it's divine. Tonight, when you see the light, when you hear the voice, when you feel the presence, it will sound like the Word made flesh. It will feel like every promise you've ever prayed coming alive. That's confirmation. Third, fruit follows you. Wake kinder, clearer, less afraid. Jesus said in Matthew 7:16, "By their fruit you will recognize them." Here's the test. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, how do you feel? Are you more loving, more patient, more at peace? Or are you anxious, paranoid, disconnected? God's presence always produces fruit. The enemy's presence always produces fear. It's that simple. If tonight changes you, if you wake up with a softness in your heart you haven't felt in years, if you look at your spouse and actually see them again, if you call that person you've been avoiding and forgive them, that's the fruit. That's proof. That's God. Now, if these 3 helped you, tap that like button right now so more people who need this can find it. Because I promise you, someone in your family, someone in your church, someone in your neighborhood is desperate for this confirmation tonight. And stay with me because our first climax is coming. I'm about to walk you through the exact moment of lift, what it feels like, what to do, and how to surrender without fear. You're not going to want to miss this, because in the next few minutes, everything you thought you knew about your body, your soul, and your God is about to be turned upside down. Don't look away. This is where it gets real. The world around you is about to hush. Right now, right this very second, there is a stillness descending. Not the kind that makes you anxious, not the silence that feels empty. This is the sacred kind. The kind that wraps around you like a blanket woven by the hands of God Himself. You're breathing. It's evening out. In. Out. Slow. Steady. And somewhere deep inside your chest, beneath the worry, beneath the weight you've been carrying for years, there's a gentle pull upward. Do you feel it? It's not forceful. It's not violent. It's an invitation. A whisper from heaven saying, "Come up here. I want to show you something you've forgotten." The Apostle Paul said in Ephesians 1:13, "When you believed, you were marked in Him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit." That seal is on you right now. It's always been on you. And tonight, that seal is activating. You are being lifted not by your own strength, but by His Spirit. Place your hand over your heart. Go ahead. Do it now. Feel that beat? That's not just biology. That's divine rhythm. That's the sound of eternity drumming inside your mortal frame. Now breathe in slowly, and as you do, say this with me. Jesus, I trust you. Breathe out. Let the fear go. Exhale it, all of it, the doubt, the confusion, the belief that you're too broken, too old, too late. Let it go. Because here's what's happening. The elevator doors of your spirit are opening, not to a dark hallway, not to some void, but to a brighter floor, a higher realm, a place where pain doesn't reach, where your questions finally have answers, where your soul remembers what your mind forgot. You don't have to rush, you don't have to force it. This isn't about striving, it's about surrender. But I need to tell you something that might shake you. The reason you've felt so restless lately, the reason sleep hasn't come easy, the reason you've felt trapped inside your own body like you're suffocating in your own skin, it's because your spirit has been pounding on the walls, screaming to get out, not to escape life, but to experience more of it. You weren't made to live small. You weren't made to live numb. You were made to soar. Isaiah 40:31 says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles." Tonight, you're not reading about it. You're living it. If you felt your shoulders drop just now, if something inside you softened, even just a little right, I felt it in the comments. Because when you do that, you're giving permission to someone else who's watching, someone who's scared, someone who thinks they're crazy for even hoping this could be real. You're giving them courage. And here's the truth they won't tell you in most churches. God has been preparing this moment for you. Every tear you cried alone, every night you begged him to take the pain away, every morning you woke up wondering if today was the day you'd finally break. All of it was building toward this. You are about to meet someone, or maybe something. A presence so undeniable, so holy, that when you feel it, you'll weep. Not from sadness, from recognition. Because your soul knows this presence. Your spirit has always known. So the question is, who meets you in this place, and why now? Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you next will answer the question you've been asking God for years. And then you feel it. Not a sound, not a touch, but a warmth. Behind you, around you, like someone just walked into the room but there's no one there. Or is there? Your body is still lying on that bed. But you, the real you, are standing somewhere else. And you're not alone. This is the moment every chosen one has been waiting for their entire life. The moment when God stops being a concept and becomes a presence, when faith becomes sight, when the invisible becomes undeniable. You might feel your chest tighten, not from fear but from recognition, like you've been here before, like this moment was written into your soul before you were even born. Listen, do you hear it? That whisper, so soft you almost miss it. Not loud like thunder, not dramatic like the movies, just still, just small. Just like it was for Elijah in 1 Kings 19:12. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. That whisper is calling your name right now. Not the name on your birth certificate, not the name people shout when they need something from you, but the name God gave you before time began. The name written in the book of life, the name the angels know. And here's what that voice is saying. You were never forgotten. You were never a mistake. Everything, every tear, every betrayal, every sleepless night, it was all leading you here. 2 Timothy 1:9 says it plainly. He has saved us and called us to a holy life, not because of anything we have done, but because of his own purpose and grace. Let that sink in. Not because you earned it, not because you were good enough, but because he chose you, long before you chose him, long before you even knew his name. You were called before your first breath, before your first heartbreak, before your first doubt. The calling was always there. You just couldn't see it yet. But tonight, you see it. It's like looking at an old family photo that's been blurry your whole life and suddenly it comes into focus. And you recognize the face staring back at you. It's you, but not the tired, worn-down version. It's the you God always saw, radiant, purposeful, unbroken. This is who you've always been. You just forgot. The presence moves closer now. You feel it in your chest. A pressure but not heavy. It's like being held, like being seen, fully seen. And for the first time in your life, you're not ashamed. Psalm 91:11 promised this moment. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. And they're here, right now, surrounding you, not to scare you but to remind you. You've never walked alone. Even in your darkest valley, when you thought God had abandoned you, there were angels standing guard, watching, waiting, protecting. You were never as alone as you felt, and now, as the light grows brighter around you, as the warmth settles deeper into your spirit, you begin to remember things you'd buried, promises God whispered to you as a child, dreams you stopped believing in, moments when you just knew that your life was supposed to mean something more. You weren't crazy. You weren't delusional. You were right. If you're watching this right now and you need God to confirm your calling, if you need him to speak your name one more time, type, "Confirm me" in the comments. Let that be your prayer. Let that be your yes. Because in exactly 2 minutes, we're about to hit climax number 2, and this one changes everything. Because God isn't just going to confirm your calling, he's about to reveal your identity. The question is, are you ready to see who you really are? Now listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is going to shatter every lie you've ever believed about yourself. You know that voice in your head, the one that whispers, "You're too broken, you're too late, you've made too many mistakes." That voice is a liar, and tonight, God is silencing it forever. Romans 8:30 says this, "And those he predestined he also called, those he called he also justified, those he justified he also glorified." Did you catch that? Past tense. Glorified. Not will be glorified. Already glorified. Before you even woke up this morning, before you clicked on this video, before you took your first breath, you were already chosen. You didn't earn this. You can't lose this. This is who you are. But here's where it gets real. Here's where the shame tries to creep back in, because somewhere deep inside you're thinking, "But you don't know what I've done. You don't know the nights I've cried myself to sleep. You don't know the years I wasted. You don't know the people I've hurt." You're right. I don't know. But God does. And he still chose you. 1 Peter 2-9 declares, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." You are chosen, you are royal, you are holy. Not because of what you've done, but because of whose you are. And tonight, when your spirit rises and you see yourself through God's eyes, you won't see the failures, you won't see the regrets. You'll see what he's always seen: a warrior, a overcomer, a child of the Most High God who's been fighting battles in realms most people don't even know exist. Now, I need you to do something. Right now. Out loud. I don't care if someone's in the room. I don't care if you're in your car. Say this with me. I am chosen. I am safe. I am sent. Say it again. Louder this time. I am chosen. I am safe. I am sent. Do you feel that? That release in your chest? That's the weight of shame breaking off. That's years of self-condemnation losing its grip. That's your true identity rising to the surface. And if tears are coming right now, let them fall. Those aren't tears of weakness, those are tears of recognition. Your soul remembering what it always knew but forgot in the noise of this world. Take a breath. Just breathe. Because here's what the enemy doesn't want you to know. The moment you accept this identity, everything shifts. Your prayers carry more weight. Your presence disrupts darkness. Your voice breaks chains. Not because you're suddenly perfect, but because you finally know who you are. And I need to know right now, are you claiming this? Type "I accept the mission" in the comments if you're done playing small. If you're done apologizing for taking up space. If you're ready to walk in the fullness of what God called you to be. Because here's what's coming next, and this is crucial. When your spirit returns to your body tonight, and it will return, you're bringing something back with you. A fire, a clarity, a supernatural knowing that cannot be shaken by circumstances or silenced by critics. But what do you do with that fire? How do you carry this revelation into tomorrow morning when the alarm goes off and life feels normal again? That's what we're about to uncover. Because the journey out of your body was just the beginning. What happens when you come back? That's where the real mission starts. Stay with me. We're not done yet.